Hey there, St. Paul American School Clark ninth graders, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unlocking the secrets to writing a truly top-tier literary criticism argument. You know, your high school program is built around a really rigorous American curriculum. It's designed to develop your critical thinking and equip you for top universities worldwide. And honestly, mastering the art of literary analysis is a massive step on that journey. So we're going to break down exactly how to construct an argument using valid reasoning, evidence, and incredibly precise descriptive details. Looking at our agenda for today, we've got our objective, an explanation of the concepts, a worked example, a quick misconception check, a formative check to test your skills, and finally, a recap. Let's get right into it. Section 1. Objective. Mastering literary arguments and cracking the 9th grade ELA rubric. So what does it actually take to hit that fully meets expectation on your 9th grade ELA rubric? Let's take a close look. You can't just toss a random fact onto the page, right? You need a specific, arguable claim. Plus, you need at least 2 relevant quotations that are properly integrated into your writing. But listen, here is the real game changer where writers either make or break their essays. You absolutely have to explain how that evidence supports your claim. You do this by zooming in on specific words in the quotation. And to pull that off, you need concise, varied word choice. I'm talking about using supporting and descriptive details and really precise adjectives. The big takeaway here is that a winning literary argument needs that arguable claim, supported by at least 2 integrated quotes, and analyzed with incredibly precise language. Moving on to Section 2, Explanation, Evidence, and Precise Details. The moves of literary analysis. You know, literary evidence just doesn't speak for itself. It always needs your careful interpretation. Think of it like this. Most successful academic writers use 3 distinct moves to really nail their analysis. Step 1, introduce the quotation so your readers know exactly what they're supposed to be looking for. Step 2 is providing the actual quote itself. And step 3, this is crucial, you take the time to explain exactly how the language of that quote supports your point. Never, ever assume a quote is just self-explanatory. And this quote right here brilliantly captures what we're focusing on today. The absolute core of your analysis has to focus heavily on explaining specific words. To persuade your reader, you've got to use precise adjectives and varied word choices to capture the exact meaning and the deeper implications of the text. Hit the nail on the head, basically. Section 3. Worked example. Analyzing Hamlet. Let's put these moves into practice. Okay, let's actually see this in action using a total classic, Shakespeare's Hamlet. Now, every great paragraph starts with an arguable claim. Here's the one we're using. Throughout much of the play, Hamlet is caught in a trap of indecision caused by a refusal to deal directly with the difficulties he faces. Notice how this isn't just a basic fact about the plot, it's a real interpretation that we now have to go and prove. So, next up is step 1, introducing our evidence. We definitely don't want to just lazily write, Hamlet says this. Instead, we introduce it by saying, Hamlet treats action and inaction as an abstract question to be pondered rather than a practical decision to be made. Look at the precise descriptive details there. We're literally telling the reader exactly what to look for before they've even read a single word of the quote. Then we hit step 2. We drop in that incredibly famous to be or not to be quote, which gives us the exact textual evidence we need to start dissecting. And finally, step 3, the analysis itself. Just look at how we zero in on specific words from the text. We point out that Hamlet admits this is a problem to be pondered only, quote, in the mind. We analyze his phrase, outrageous fortune, framing it as an indeterminate, vague concept rather than, specific, practical events. By using really precise adjectives like abstract, philosophical, and indeterminate, we clearly explain how his own language proves our claim that he's refusing to deal directly with his actual real-world difficulties. All right, Section 4, Misconception Check, Summary, Verse, Analysis. It's time to avoid the biggest pitfall. So a huge pitfall for 9th grade writers is confusing summary with analysis, and trust me, that will definitely drop your rubric score. A summary, well, that just reduces known information down to its bare, essential parts without evaluating, judging, or interpreting anything. It avoids any personal reactions or findings. It's literally just stating what happens in the plot. Analysis, on the other hand, is a whole different ballgame. It requires you to interpret patterns and uncover something completely new about the evidence you're looking at. You are taking a big step beyond the summary to explain what those facts actually mean, based on real evidence. Let's put this into perspective using a short film called Mr. Foley. A summary, It just describes the plot. A guy wakes up in a hospital, and a team of artists is literally in his room making all the sound effects for his movements. Pretty straightforward. But an analysis goes so much further. An analysis uses precise adjectives to argue that the extreme exaggeration of those sounds actually emphasizes the artificiality of Hollywood, questioning how it represents reality. You see the difference there? Analysis interprets, summary just repeats. Section 5. Formative check, test your skills. Let's practice introducing quotes effectively. Okay, time to see if you can pick the best way to introduce a quotation using really descriptive details. Imagine you're writing a paragraph about Herman Melville's short story, Bartleby the Scrivener, and you're using this arguable claim. Bartleby the Scrivener deliberately confuses conventional moral codes, making it difficult to divine wrong from right in the story. Now, you want to use a quote where the narrator talks about playing it safe in his legal career, how he's an unambitious lawyer doing a snug business and is considered an eminently safe man. So, which sentence best introduces this quotation so that it actually supports our claim about moral confusion? All right, take a look at these three options. Think about which one uses specific, descriptive language to prepare the reader for your interpretation without just making things up. Option 1 says he rejects right and wrong for money. Option 2 says he's indifferent to justice and confuses what is right with what is safe. And option 3, it just says he doesn't think in terms of right and wrong. Take a second to mull that over. Did you pick option 2? If so, you absolutely nailed it. Option 2 is definitely the best choice because it uses really precise details, words like indifferent and safe and comfortable, to specifically link the narrator's attitude straight back to the larger argument of the paragraph, which, remember, is about the confusion of moral codes. Option 1 completely invents facts about extracting money, and option 3, it's just way too vague to be useful. Finally, section 6, recap, the key takeaways and our final thoughts. Let's do a quick recap to make absolutely sure you have all the tools you need to completely conquer that 9th grade ELA rubric. Remember, to fully meet expectations, you've got to make a specific, arguable claim. You must use those 3 key moves with your evidence. Intelligently introduce it, accurately quote it, and rigorously analyze it. When you're in that analysis phase, focus on specific words from the text and always interpret the meaning instead of just summarizing the plot. And to bring the whole shebang to life, use supporting, descriptive details and those highly precise adjectives. So as you gear up for your next assignment at St. Paul, I want you to ask yourself something. Will your next literary analysis simply state the facts, or will you step up, use precise, powerful language, and uncover a hidden truth? The choice, and hey, the grade, is entirely up to you. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and happy writing.